Kyler Murray does this, and I'm just wondering, and I'm going to tie it into Jalen Hurts here in a minute. Look what he does. He puts him on prime time. I mean, let's go back and look at something here. You think Ryan Tannehill makes the Titans relevant or exciting, or you're on like Thursday night TV, or you're on Monday night, keeps you in the news, makes your team relevant, more advertising dollars for your local revenue? What do you think Ryan Tannehill does for the Titans? He's not very exciting. Remember when Andy Dalton was starting at Cincinnati? Think about that dynamic there. Follow me here. Andy Dalton won a lot of football games in Cincinnati. Go back and look at the record. Was he very entertaining? Yeah. And isn't it great to say National Football Show when football season is here? So the Raiders on the NFL Network already hitting with one another. Crazy. Football season is here. Next week, we're talking about Eagles in training camp. We're talking about the start of the 2022 season, and bills are to be paid. No more conjecture on what this guy may do, on where you think this thing fits. Now the reality television show starts, man. That's beautiful, man. Sports is the greatest reality television show in all of broadcasting, because you know why? This isn't like wrestling. It's not rigged. It's a storyline that plays out in front of you each and every single Sunday, Thursday, or Monday night. You get a chance to watch it, man. You don't really know who's going to win. We don't know what Jalen's going to do. We don't know what the Eagle defense is going to look like. We don't know how good Jonathan Gannon. All of those, we don't know how good the NFC East. Who knows, man? That thing may turn out to be one of the better divisions in all of football. Nobody knows. That's what sports is number one right now in broadcasting. It is. More money is spent by networks on live broadcasting for sports than any other entity in any other genre. It's great. That's why shows like this, platforms like this, are all growing like a weed. I mean, you got the NFL now on Amazon. Do you know how big that is for shows like ours and networks like JAKIB Sports? That the NFL is also now vested in it. It's great because JAKIB got ahead of the NFL on this. NFL now goes, yeah, we got Thursday night broadcasting. Gets this. If you don't have Amazon, you can't watch Thursday night football. How crazy is that? If you don't have him, you can't watch it. I mean, I can't wait to see how 2022 unfolds for all of us this year. You know, I want to start the show off. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming aboard. Greg, I appreciate the great compliment. Thank you so much. Kyle, thank you again. Bob, thank you again. Michael. Silz, when are you going to make your own power rankings? I had one after the draft. I'll do another one as we get closer into the regular season. Okay? Do I need multiple accounts to watch games this season? I don't know, man. I have no idea. But the NFL is spread out everywhere. Streaming, broadcast television, cable television. No wonder that thing is the biggest sports entity in North America. The NFL is just king. I want to start the show out by doing this, if I may. I want to go back to the Kyler Murray signing. Kenneth goes, Silz, let's stir some shit up today. Okay, let's. Are you ready? Let's. Kyler Murray signing of $230.5 million. How many people totally like Kyler Murray? By the way, Xander, I saw what D. Gunn said about Kyler Murray today. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. What's he done? What's he won? What has he done to deserve 46.1 per year over the next 5 years? I'm going to tell you what he's done. He's made Arizona relevant. By the way, when I say this, and you guys clue me in on this all the time. You ready? You clue me in on this all the time. The Philadelphia Eagles don't need to sell season tickets. Okay? We pretty much know 69,937 is going to go into that building at Lincoln Financial, right? Pretty much know it's going to be a sellout. But let me tell you what Kyler Murray. Hey, by the way, do you like everything about Kyler Murray? I thought he did a business decision in last year's playoff game against the Rams. I question his maturity. By the way, my friend Howard Balzer, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, in the second hour, 4:30 Eastern from Sports Illustrated, was there in Arizona covering the Kyler Murray signing. I want to get his spin. He covers the team for SI and also is a Hall of Fame voter. Kyler Murray does this, and I'm just wondering, and I'm going to tie it into Jalen Hurts here in a minute. Look what he does. He puts him on prime time. I mean, let's go back and look at something here. You think Ryan Tannehill makes the Titans relevant or exciting, or you're on like Thursday night TV, or you're on Monday night, keeps you in the news, makes your team relevant, more advertising dollars for your local revenue? What do you think Ryan Tannehill does for the Titans? He's not very exciting. Remember when Andy Dalton was starting in Cincinnati? Think about that dynamic there. Follow me here. Andy Dalton won a lot of football games in Cincinnati. Go back and look at the record. Was he very entertaining? Not very exciting. When you watch Joe Burrow, you're building facilities because of Joe Burrow. Kyler Murray makes the Cardinals relevant. He's exciting to watch. You enjoy watching him play. I heard Rob say this. I'm more enamored when he takes off running and he breaks down defenses on third down. D Gun's right. He says this. What's he done? The most important thing for an owner. He's made them relevant. The Bidwills have a player that makes their team relevant. Who were they before Kyler Murray showed up? Nobody. Nobody cared about Arizona Cardinal football. Arizona Cardinal football was a non-register on the television screen. You were not going to be a 1:00 game when you played in Arizona. Now you are. Now you're in the main windows. Now you're talking about being prime time. Now you're talking about being relevant. Remember something. There's two sides to this when you're signing a player. And I'm going to tie this into Jalen here in a minute. The Bidwells want their organization to be relevant in their own community. They want them to be relevant nationally so they can sell spots, make money, build facilities, get stadiums maybe. Lucas Oil Stadium is built because of Peyton Manning, not because of John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh when he quarterbacked in Indianapolis. Peyton Manning built Lucas Oil. He made him relevant. And there's the dynamic. You got the football people over here going, he's this. And we win. On the other hand, you got the business side of it where, get this, you've got to be relevant. You know, one thing that Cowboys have done over the last 27 years, they remained relevant. Even though they haven't won, it's because of the owner. They've had relevant players because of the relevant brand. How can that team be the richest brand in the world in sports, team-wise, and you haven't done anything in 30 years? How? It's marketing. Having the marketable players. How many people think Jalen Hurts is marketable? You think he's exciting to watch? You think he's entertaining to watch? I don't know. I think he's okay. I wouldn't go like this. If you put a ticket down on a table and said, Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray, I'm picking the Kyler Murray ticket up. If you put Jalen Hurts on the table, it said Aaron Rodgers. I'm picking the Aaron Rodgers ticket up. If you put the Dak Prescott ticket on the table, I'm picking the Dak Prescott ticket up on the table. I'm not picking the Jalen. If you're Jeffrey Lurie, do you see and feel the excitement that you have going on in Arizona? And I'm not saying that Jalen is not. Watch this. All those intangibles you talk about, it seems that Kyler Murray doesn't have like a lot of those Jalen Hurts intangibles. But yet, get this, he just got $230.5 million. He seems moody, scrubbed his social media, acted like he was a 14-year-old, cried his way to $230.5 million. And if you notice the contract's got a lot of playing incentives. Active game, $800,000 bonuses. They're kind of hedging their bets in Arizona with this money. There's no doubt the guy in Cleveland got the better deal. Probably 5 times better than what Kyler Murray got. His deal's $230 million guaranteed. There's no playing incentives in that deal. Hey, you got $230 million, $46 million in guaranteed cash. You don't have to show up to the facility to get some of your money. You're getting it all. Dude, Deshaun Watson's deal is 10 times maybe even better than what K1 got. But I bring this back to Jalen. You think Jalen really makes the Eagles relevant? Justin Herbert, he makes the Cardinals relevant. I'm talking business-wise here, not so much about playing on Sundays. You think Jalen's exciting to watch? I think guys throwing dirt worms and overthrowing people are not exciting. Okay? And in today's NFL, if we learned anything about that signing yesterday, it's not about personality. It's not about leadership. It's about being marketable. There's 2 sides to this thing here. Okay? Xander says this, McMullen hit it spot on. Murray is better than Hurts will ever be, and Murray isn't good enough. He's right. He's right. But you know what Murray has? Murray has marketability to him. He has the marketability. He's good. Okay? He's good and he's marketable. By the way, look how smart he is too. I posted this on my Twitter page. Do you understand what Kyler Murray did? Was so brilliant. You know, when he got drafted by the A's in the first round, making him the first and only player in football and baseball history to be a first-round draft choice. Do you know what he has accomplished? He was given, you'll love this, Xander, he was given $3 million as a signing bonus by the Oakland Athletics when he signed with the A's. He had to give that money back. And today, he makes more money than the entire Oakland Athletics payroll in 1 year. He is the A's payroll. He makes as much money annually being the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals than he would ever playing in Oakland, who has a payroll of like $46, $47 million. You're constantly on TV. The NFL markets quarterbacks. The nation, the media, all are around. Well, that's all we talk about is quarterbacks on this program. They're the most recognizable athletes in American sports today, is the American NFL quarterback. They're like the version of the Premier League soccer stars here in America. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi and all those great players that play in the Premier League overseas. Here in America, our Premier League is the NFL. And they're now being paid almost as much as Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. They're not known around the world like those two guys, but our world is from New York to California. Wouldn't you rather be that than playing center field or shortstop in some minor league place for 2 years, making $3 million. Now you're making $46.1 million. Think of that. He makes more money or as much money today as the entire team professionally that plays in Oakland. That's incredible. What is it, 24 guys on a big league roster, 25 guys on a big league roster? He makes more money than 25 guys combined on that team, the Oakland A's. One guy. Talk about a business decision that went right. Okay, here's your $3 million back. I'll take 46.1. This guy's smart. By the way, do I like all the things I see about him? Absolutely not. But he just got paid for being Kyler Murray. And when I see Kyler Murray, I do not see anything that resembles Jalen Hurts. It made me think last night. The problem in Philadelphia is not so much Jalen can't win games. The owner wants to have a relevant player at that position. And just being a good dude and being fairly decent is not going to move the needle for him. The Dallas Cowboys own the NFC East, whether they win it or lose it. Why is that? They have a marketable quarterback. They have a marketable brand. Everything they do around that team has everything to do with business. The Eagles are hoping that the kid can play. The Cowboys are hoping that Dak can sell the brand. Jalen Hurts doesn't sell the Eagle brand. He doesn't. You know who sold? You want to know who sold the Eagle brand? Michael Vick. Michael Vick sold the Eagle brand. The most relevant that you have been at quarterback in the last 20 years is when Vick was your quarterback. Everybody watched Vick. Everybody played Madden. Everybody knew when he got to Philly, he is your most recognizable player that you've had, T.O. and Vick. Those guys make you relevant. Because you know what? John McMullen is right. McMullen is right. Jalen's good. He's not Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray's not near enough in talent to lead that team to a Super Bowl and win it. He's just not. How about this? Nick Foles was never going to keep the Philadelphia Eagles in a position to win a Super Bowl every year. He just wasn't. Didn't have the capability. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, they keep you in the picture every single year to win that game. Okay? Every year those teams are in it to win it. Matthew Stafford keeps the Rams relevant in the picture to win the Super Bowl. And keeps you on prime time. Look at how many prime time. Hey, Xander, check it out. Is it me or have I seen more Matthew Stafford in 1 year than I saw in 12 years in Detroit? And that guy played on Thanksgiving. That guy played on Thanksgiving every year, one of the most televised games of the year. Detroit's always on Turkey Day. And I look at Matthew Stafford now and I go like this. I've seen this guy more this year than I have in the last 12 years before he showed up in LA with McVay. Okay? I mean, how did he get, and you start asking the question, how did Kyler Murray get $230.5 million in 46.1, making him the second highest paid quarterback behind only Aaron Rodgers? And don't tell me it's the market, because I would never pay Jalen Hurts $30 million to quarterback my football team. He makes $1.1 million now. And throwing 16 touchdowns, that's about right. 16 touchdowns or 20 touchdowns doesn't equate into $30 million and being a face of a franchise. I'm sorry, but I don't see it. Kyler Murray opened my eyes You think that Jalen is electric enough to be your starting quarterback? Hey, let's just do it from a business aspect. Let's just pretend not winning games. You think he's exciting enough to make people go like this? The Eagles are relevant. Look at the Titans. Are the Titans relevant? They were the number 1 seed last year. The number 1 seed in the AFC. I didn't even know that until the playoffs started. Okay? What do you mean, Dave, it's the market? Are you trying to tell me that if you're not a superstar, you're trying to tell me if Kobe didn't play with the Sixers instead of the Lakers, are you trying to tell me that the Sixers wouldn't have been relevant and wouldn't have been on television like on NBC like Michael Jordan was every single Sunday afternoon? You're crazy. East Coast team. Do you know the most televised division in all of football every year is the NFC East, even when it sucks? Because it's Washington, Philly, New York, and Dallas. Nobody else in any of the other divisions has that. Denver, Phoenix. Give me a break. That's why they call it the Tiffany division. The Tiffany division, you got to have a guy that makes your team relevant. Hey, let's do this on the football side of it. Watch this. Jalen can win games. The business side of it, Jalen doesn't make you relevant. He's not an exciting player. He's not. And you know what sucks? You got exciting players on the team. You know, I thought about this with this. Xander, right? I thought about this with this football team this year. Exciting. A.J. Brown, Devontae, Goddard. The defense going to be better. We're sitting here talking about a guy at the most important position on whether or not he's going to be good. Then you start thinking about how the quarterback in Phoenix just got $46.1 million. And you're going like this. Well, I know some of you are thinking this. Well, if he got 46, Jalen will. You're out of your mind. Kyler Murray is here. And John McMullen's right. Kyler Murray's here. And the rest of those guys are over here. And Jalen's down with the Tyrod Taylors. And by the way, this is not an indictment on anything except for who he was and when he was drafted and what he is. And some of you are going to go, well, what if he does this? What if he does? You're rubbing a lamp again, hoping for things. How did Murray get that money? Has he won anything? No. Did he cry in that Rams playoff game? Absolutely. Or scrubbing the social media was one of the most childish things, but I guess that's the modern day guys today. Xander could probably answer more to that. So if I get mad at you, you just erase your stuff on social media. I guess that's the way to send messages now, because that's the way some people like, sending smoke screens and smoke signals out to other people. Let me scrub my social media. Here, that's a smoke screen. I guess so. I don't know. I thought maybe you pick a phone up and call somebody. You know what I'm saying? How did that guy get $46.1 million? Hey, Lotus goes, Kyler Murray will not be a Hall of Famer. I completely agree. Okay? I want people who win by any means necessary, says Jay. Jay, that's the football side of this. You're missing out what I'm saying here. Owners are not just going to give quarterbacks that money unless you have both sides of it covered. Marketability, winner, promise, keeping you relevant. If you don't have that whole package, you're not getting that money. I don't care who you are. You're not getting it. Russell Wilson, winner. marketable, awesome wife. Now he's even in a great football city. Never thought much of Seattle. Their fan base is good, the 12th man. I'll take that back. It's a decent fan base. Okay? Denver's better, in my opinion. Bronco country. That's limited thinking. Yeah. Ask the Bidwells if limited thinking is $230.5 million when he hasn't won shit yet. Okay? Murray is quick now, but 5 years from now, absolutely, Daz. 5 years from now, here's something to think about. Would you rather have a quarterback that gets banged up a little that's great? Or would you rather have a shitty quarterback for the next 5 years that's healthy? You figure that out. Would you rather have Daniel Jones for 5 years because he could take a hit? Or would you rather have a guy that can win ball games for you and makes your team relevant? I'll take that guy. I might miss a couple games, but you know what? I want to win too. And just to have a guy because he's healthy on my team, If you told me this, hey, Josh Allen is only going to play 5 years and he wins 2 Super Bowls or 1 Super Bowl, everything that the Bills did for him was worth it. You get 2 Super Bowls in his 6-year playing career, that's worth it. Well, if he plays 15 years and does shit with it, who cares? How did Kyler Murray get $230.5 million? It answers the Jalen Hurts question of why Howie Roseman is hedging his bets for 2023 and in the April draft. It completely answers it. Jalen does not check all the boxes for what a today quarterback is. That guy in Arizona, like John McMullen said, ain't good enough, but he checks the boxes. He's going to be marketed like Vic was. It's part of the business plan. See, I think sometimes, and maybe this is my fault, we fell into the solely football conversation and not the overall business model of what they're looking for. That's why they've never been sold on a particular guy, and they have knee-jerk reactions on certain things. Honestly, and you know what they'll do? They'll cover it up with a free agent. They'll see their mistakes that they make. Once they make 2 or 3 mistakes at the same position, they'll get a free agent. And they'll bring it in to cover it. Xander says this is why John said if I was Steve Keim, I'd sign Kyler too. But I'd go to sleep deep down knowing I have no chance to win a Super Bowl. Of course. Or you get exceptionally lucky. Does this sound too harsh? Because Kyler Murray's contract will affect Jalen on how the Eagles see him. You think the people at the NovaCare Center look at, here, ask yourself this question. Do you think the people at the NovaCare Center look at Jalen Hurts and see Kyler Murray? Do you think they see that? There's no way they see that. There's no way. Absolutely no way. And by the way, he's a better guy. He's probably a better leader. He's better around teammates. He doesn't act like a baby. He doesn't cry as well. Hey, by the way, Kyler Murray cried his way to $250 million. He wasn't going to show up to training camp. Oh, just in the nick of time before he showed up to camp, they gave him his money. I kept breaking this down. How did that guy get that cash, man? I mean, when I look at him, do I see Justin Herbert? No. Do I see Joe Burrow? Do I see I don't see any of that. And D Gunn's right. What's he done? Well, he made you relevant. And in today's NFL, making your team relevant, that owner knows what he can do with that. The Bidwells are banking on his popularity, his social media presence, all of that, to build facilities like they're doing in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. Hey, football-wise, Joe Burrow, we could have great conversations. But think about this, right, Xander? How many years prior to the last 2 years have you ever talked Bengals football? Do you remember talking Bengals football? Like ever? I can't remember. Maybe when Boomer was there or Carson Palmer. A little bit with Andy Dalton. Joe Burrow makes you talk Bengals ball now. Makes your complete franchise relevant, which means this: they can go to communities and ask for an indoor training facility, which they did and they're getting. And the community's giving it to them. That's what Bill Bidwell's family is looking at now. They're going to go build all kinds of new facilities around the community, all on the back of Kyler Murray. I guarantee you, man, he's got ambassador money that's in there too, where he's got to make appearances for the team. And he's good. Davey boy, and didn't pass for 63% until his fourth season. Small market in Arizona. You know what you missed the picture on there, Big Pickin'? Nobody cares how big your market is when you play in the NFL. Big Pickin' goes, Arizona's a small market. Well, then explain this to me, Big Pickin'. The top two quarterbacks in the NFL salary-wise, one plays in Green Bay, which is market 296, and the other plays in Glendale and makes 46.1. Those guys aren't playing in New York. They're playing in the smallest markets in the country. And they're making the most money. It doesn't matter where you play quarterback in the NFL. It matters who you are. That's why there's another dynamic. That's why the conversation keeps being brought up. And when you see the money that Lamar Jackson's going to sign for, I ask you this question. Watch this. Does Lamar make Baltimore relevant? Without him on that team, Baltimore absolutely is nobody. He's a star, man, especially in the Baltimore community. Constantly out in public. Unanimous MVP. Won over 70% of his ball games. Former Heisman Trophy winner. Showed up to camp without a new deal today. Those are the guys you pay $250 million to. You don't pay $250 million to a guy you're hoping throws for 3,500 yards, and nobody knows. Jalen Hurts is not a big-name quarterback. And some of you go like this, that doesn't really matter. You're right, in winning and losing. But today's owner want relevance. Like I said, Andy Dalton won a ton of games. Ryan Tannehill wins a ton of games in Tennessee. And when Andy was in Cincinnati, I don't remember talking about those guys a lot. And quite frankly, I was shocked that Tennessee had the number one seed in the AFC last year. I was shocked. Jay goes, I live in Baltimore. Great community, and I love to see what they did down there on the Bayside there. I love what they've done. They remodeled it there next to the hotel. That place used to be a sewer down in that section. It is absolutely spectacular what they've done down there. I love what they've done to Baltimore down on that little seaside there where all those shops are set up. It's a great community, too. No elite quarterback is only throwing the ball 407 in 16 games. And yeah, Inner Harbor, thank you, Nathan. That Inner Harbor, man, like those crab shacks they got down there now. I was there a couple years ago. Fantastic. Just fantastic stuff. Silz, how much would you pay Burrow if you were the Bengals? How much would I pay them? $60 million a year. $60 million. I might start working on that now. Because if Joe Burrow duplicates what he did a year ago, that guy's going to have an open check put in front of him, and he's going to fill it in. He's going to fill it in. I'm more convinced now than ever that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to draft a quarterback next year. More so, I think it's 99.9%. Kyler Murray's here's one for you. Kyler Murray's contract makes me feel now today that the Eagles are definitely going to sign a quarterback. 99.9%. They're going to sign a quarterback. Either in the draft or they'll do something. Kyler Murray's not near good enough. Like when I look at Kyler Murray, do I go like this? Boy, I'll tell you something, man. Him and Burrow for the next couple years are going to battle it out. I would never say that. Joe Burrow's here. Kyler Murray's here. Jalen Hurts is on the floor. I mean, and by the way, can I make it so that we all understand where I'm coming from here? I don't really care about Jalen Hurts' feelings or anything about who he is as a professional. I don't care. I'm sure he's a great dude. Hey, man, I'd like to know the guy. He seems awesome. I'm talking football and business here. And when you put your emotions in the way of that, that's where most businesses go out of business. When you start putting your professional feelings involved in it, that's where things go sideways. You keep a guy 2 years too long, like they did in Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger. You see Big Ben moaning and bitching about how Kevin Colbert wanted to move off him. Well, after last year's performance, Ben, he was right. You sucked. You sucked. Of course he wanted to move off you. He probably wanted to make a play for Russell Wilson. He was right, because you know what they're stuck with this year? Ben, Mitchell Trubisky, and Kenny Pickett. Thanks a lot. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I go, yeah, great. Either work in a new young rookie quarterback or have some has-been or guy who failed at another place in my building, and I got to try to resurrect this guy's career. That's what Mike Tomlin has in front of him. And Ben's going, yeah, they wanted to move me up, but the owner kept me. Yeah, because the owner put emotions ahead of business. And that shocks me for Pittsburgh. Okay? That shocks me for Pittsburgh. 5-star says, Silz, no one knows the future. That's right. Somebody asked this question to me yesterday about Kyler Murray, 5-star. How'd he get the money? He hasn't done anything. Well, I know this. He's made that team relevant today. Jalen Hurts doesn't make the Eagles relevant today. Kyler Murray has sold the public. And that's what the Bidwells are buying. The Bidwells bought talent and marketability. That's what the NFL quarterback is today. Marketability and talent. Got to have both. And how about this? Kyler Murray talent, which isn't elite. And yet he's being paid elite because he's Kyler Murray. Hey, Kyler Murray, how many playoff games do you think he wins in the next 10 years? 3? 4? They're not buying that. They're not buying that. They're buying Kyler Murray, the business. They want to be in business with Kyler Murray. They like the Kyler Murray business. Cincinnati has a Ferrari, or basically found a pot of gold. And the problem with that is the pot of gold is going to run out. And they're not going to, they may pay him. I don't know. So you're saying you would kick the tires on Jimmy G? I don't. Bidwells want that face of a franchise like they did with Fitzgerald. It's marketable. Absolutely. Eric, correct, sir. Projection paid. They're selling the illusion. Success. Hey, can I? Would you allow me? Hey, Xander, would you allow me to do everything and say everything that Kyler Murray brings to the Arizona Cardinals and the Phoenix community? He's a gifted athlete. He's a modern day athlete. He's marketable. He's African American in a state that's going through a transition right now with Californians moving to Arizona. Okay? He's marketable. Having an African American as the head, as your face of your franchise is wonderful. It's great for the growth of the league. We need this. We need this. The impression of having an open NFL today versus back in the day where that position wasn't really being brought up for African Americans. You got that now going. Look at all the high paid. It's wonderful for the NFL. It's signature. Everything. And by the way, they're not doing that just for that. They're doing that because it's the right thing to do. All of that plays into $230.5 million. Okay? Jalen has none of that. How many years has Kyler Murray? Can you guys tell me? How many years has Kyler Murray been in the NFL? Okay, how many years has he been in the league? You guys, can you tell me? Okay. How many years? Is it 3? Is it 3 years he's been in the league? Did he come in the same year that Jalen did? Did he come in to the NFL the same year? 4 years. Okay. 4 years. So I think he came in the NFL. Okay, I think he came in the NFL 1 year before Jalen did, I think. Okay, which guys, because if it's 3, he came in the same year with Jalen. Drafted in 2019. Okay, well, then he came in with Jalen. So hang on here. 19, 20, 21. Okay, it's a year before. Okay. When I look at Kyler Murray and what he's done in the NFL, okay, and I look at that, when I think of Arizona Cardinal football, I think of Kyler Murray. I don't think of DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think of Larry Fitzgerald anymore. Hey, man, it's just a conversation on how Arizona. You know what it is too, guys? It's more of a conversation on how Arizona got to that number. How do you get to that number? Like Derek Gunn said today, how do you get to that number without having done anything? Well, when you look at everything, the business side of it, the relevance factor, how many times they're going to be on national television. That brand grows because of him. Also, gambling's going to be a major component in this thing. Dude. Andy Reid brought relevance, but I'm sure relevance wasn't the goal. No, but the $500 million, Gordon, when they gave Patrick Mahomes the $500 million, it was then. It was then. You're right. When they drafted him out of Texas Tech, that wasn't part of the equation. They bought the Patrick Mahomes brand after they saw what they had. When it came, Patrick Mahomes is in Kansas City, one of the smaller cities in America, and he's one of the faces of the league. You don't have to be in Dallas, Philly, New York, or LA to be the face of the NFL. You don't. You know what's funny? John Morant. Look at John Morant. What team does he play for? Memphis? John Morant and Zion Williamson. One guy's in New Orleans and the other guy's in Memphis. Big deal. Big deal. Nobody cares about Pelican or Memphis, but they care about the Chiefs. Okay? They care about the Chiefs. Mahomes is on a brand. The Kansas City Chiefs, Aaron Rodgers is a market 293 or whatever it is. And he's making $50 million. Hey, Birdman, it won't matter if Hurts balls out. Balls out how? Outplays Dak? Not happening. Outplays Wentz? Not happening. He's not better than Kyler Murray, dude. What do you mean balls out? Protects the football? 20 touchdowns, 3,500 passing yards? Great. Those are irrelevant numbers. Completely irrelevant. Dude, you got to sell that position today in the NFL. I think you guys are missing it. What I'm saying here. I'm not telling you that he's not going to win games. I'm telling you he doesn't make your team relevant. And some of you go, well, I don't care. Spoken like a fan. Remember what a fan is today in the NFL and how the owners look at you. You cheer at stadiums you build for them. I hate to be that, but it is. You are fans that cheer at stadiums you build for owners. That's how they see you. Well, you think they try to cut good deals with local communities? Hey, when you become a billionaire in life, it's not because you cut fair deals with people. When you're a millionaire, what, you think you became a millionaire because you got good business partners? You take advantage of people. Every day you can. The good ones try to do it as kind as they can. But you're still a millionaire. Smile says Jeffrey Lurie is choking right now seeing that Kyler Murray contract. No, he's not. Because he already knows what he has in the building. He's looking for the next dude. I've never seen an unpopular winner. Okay, let's see. Joe Flacco. Who? He was the face of the Ravens. I've never seen it unpopular. Really? Okay. How many people have you seen go on and win things and nobody knows who your name is the next day? Dude, there's a reason that Kyler Murray got $230.5 million. Okay? There's a reason that he got that much money. Big picking, great one. Tim Duncan, most unmarketable superstar on the planet. And you know what? If you put his resume up to Shaq's, you would say, if you took the names away from Tim Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal, you'd go like this. Tim Duncan had more titles than Shaq. Can that possibly be? Yeah. He's got 5 titles. Shaq's got 4. Really? And he did it in one place. The big fundamental was the most unmarketable NBA superstar of all time and one of the greatest winners of all time that nobody cared about. Couldn't market it. And you know why you couldn't market that Spurs team? They were foreign players. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. We weren't going to market that. That's why nobody wanted to see the Spurs in the finals. They're boring. The only thing that wasn't boring about the Spurs is they're now today irrelevant coach in Greg Popovich. You know the Spurs haven't made it to the playoffs in 6 years? And now they just traded away another young star because nobody wants to put up with that guy. How did you get to $230 million is my thing. Hey, we are looking at today the next opponent. We've been going over the schedule for the Eagles. Coming out of the bye, got the Steelers. So we're going to take a look at the Steelers. We're going to do that. I also have a comment about Howie Roseman. Please hit the like button. Don't forget my friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. Guys, promise you this. If you're hurt or injured on the job, one of the most important things that you can possibly have for your family is the right attorney representing you in the courtroom. For the people is not a slogan. This is what they are, and this is who they represent, the people. Past 30 years, they've collected over $13.5 billion with a powerful law firm of 800 people strong. That's right. Offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida. Make no mistake about it. No such thing as a fender bender when you call Morgan & Morgan. At number 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. Call is free. Consultation's free. 800-512-1600. Look, open 24/7, 7 days a week. Do me a favor. When you call Morgan & Morgan, tell them Big Silz sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.